So don't be surprised if your so-called rabbi gives you something that's the opposite of the Torah. I'm not necessarily saying that by default they're Erev Rav, but don't be surprised. That's why I always tell you, always make sure that regardless of what anyone ever says to you, if it contradicts anything you've heard in our shiurim, even if it doesn't, ask the person, whether he's a rabbi or not, where is the source for what you just said? Where could I see what you said in a book? I believe you. I understand what you're smart, you're even good looking. Whatever you want. Fine. Can I see what you said, those words, in a book? Now if he's Manis Friedman, he says, no, I don't disclose my secrets. That's what Manis Friedman. We had somebody called Manis Friedman and say, listen, we want to get some sources for what you said. He said, okay, it's $400 for a half-hour meeting. Meaning $800 an hour. It's a high-end lawyer. $400 for a half-hour meeting. I told the guy, agree, go, whatever, I'll pay for it. No sources exist. After he got surprised, we agreed. He didn't know it's coming from me. It's just some random guy. So the guy says, okay, we agree. When can we meet? Oh, no, I can't meet. Why, you busy? When can we meet? No, I can't meet with you. Oh, okay, you can't meet with you. You're busy. Okay, no problem. Can you just give me one source for the things you said in this lecture? 30 seconds over here, you said such and such, Genom, all those things you said. Can you give me one source, one page number? Manis responds, no, I don't disclose my secrets. I don't disclose my secrets. Now it's funny, but it's sad. Why? Because this young man, didn't know halacha is that he has to disclose it. Why? There's a Mishnah, Pirkei Avot, chapter 6, Mishnah number 6. It says that you have to mention the things that you say in the name of who said it, as we learn from Esther HaMalka. In Megillat Esther, that she said something to Achashverosh in the name of Mordechai. Why? Because had Esther said to Achashverosh, listen, these two guys are trying to kill you, Achashverosh would have said, oh, okay, thanks a lot, my dear wife, and that's it, salvation wouldn't have come. But because she said it in the name of Mordechai, Achashverosh, what did he do? Oh, this Mordechai, let me write this in a book, so I remember this guy. I remember this guy in the book. Later on, as the Kadosh Baruch Hu would have it, he remembered he owed Mordechai a favor. He looked in his book, I didn't pay this guy the favor that I owe me, saved my life. And that's how the salvation came. And from there the Chachamim learn that when you mention something from the source, from the place that you heard it, you bring the Mashiach. And when you don't, you delay the Mashiach. You delay the salvation. Such is the magnitude of mentioning something with a source. That's why you see all Talmidei Chachamim, when they mention things in the Shiurei Torah, they're constantly spitting out sources. It's not because they're trying to show off their wisdom, chas v'shalom. They're trying to fulfill a mitzvah from a Torah. So you know that you can find what I just said in a book, and you can track that book's source all the way to our oral Torah, all the way to our written Torah, all the way to Mount Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and so on and so forth, all the way to the beginning of time. Why? Because this rule has been in place since the beginning of time. It was implemented at the time of Mount Sinai. But the Torah, Kedoshah itself, was already written 974 generations before the world was created, as it says in Gemara Masechet Chagigah. So from there we know that, Rabotai, to mention a source is not a ma'ala. It's not like it makes you special or significant. It makes you kosher. Like, if you went to a restaurant to go eat some kosher food, and the guy says to you, oh yeah, we're kosher. That's not a ma'ala. That's why I'm coming here. I want to eat kosher food. You have a stamp on your door, says kosher. You have a teudah, you have some certificate on the wall. Hopefully it's still valid that it's kosher. I'm not coming here because I like your food. I'm coming here because it's kosher. I happen to like your kosher food, but main reason I'm here is because it's kosher. Doesn't make you special. Makes you kosher. If it's good too, that may be special. But the reality is, to mention a source doesn't make you special. It makes you a kosher person. When someone doesn't mention sources, it's a problem. It's a very big problem. Why? Because the audience is not able to decipher what is right, what is wrong, how could I double check this? And you will notice that all of the people that we've mentioned over the last several years and have gone against them publicly, not a single one of them mentioned sources. Why? Because if they mentioned sources, it would ruin the party. What are they going to mention? Yeah, my source was a Dardasim v'Gargamel, Sipul, Smurfs and Gargamel. You guys probably don't know what Gargamel is, and the Smurfs, the cartoon from 40 years ago. Power Rangers, source number 2, Power Rangers episode 6, X-Men, they never die, Wolverine wins, that's the sources. Why? They don't have any sources. Source, Hollywood, new film about marijuana, that Drog Kasuta quotes that you're allowed to smoke marijuana. Where's he going to quote? No Posek ever said you're allowed to smoke marijuana, but Drog Kasuta decided. So, it's very important. You go against people like this, but more importantly, you have the right information for yourself, because those people are not always public. In fact, most of them are not public people. Most of them are in your keilah, in your local shul, in your local community, may even be a family member, and they're going to question you. Now, you don't necessarily need to remember all the sources by heart yourself, although you should, but you need to know enough about the truth that no one can shake you up. If they tell you something that sounds true and negates your truth, don't let anybody shake you up. Many times people have tried doing that to me. In the beginning I was a lot more vulnerable than I am today, Baruch Hashem. They'd throw some curveball at me and I'd run to Rabbi Ephraim, what's going on? The whole world's destroyed. What happened? This guy just said da. What's wrong? Okay, but he just quoted this and this and this and this, 15 different books. He goes, he misquoted. What do you mean? But he quoted them. He goes, let me show you what he quoted. And we go one after another. Here say liar, never happened, never mentioned, liar, just made it up. And you saw one after another. All the things that the guy quoted, complete fabrication of the truth. But in the beginning, you don't know what you don't know. So someone mentions some verse, or someone mentions some rabbi, or someone mentions some page, you get all shaken up. What does that mean? You're not confident in your own knowledge. And that's one of the things that you have to do for yourself. Because the Yetzer Hara will send them to you. It may be your girlfriend, it may be your best buddy, it may be your parents, it may be your rabbi even. You have to know enough about the truth in order to defend it. And again, it's not necessarily about remembering all of the pages and even the way the page looks like by heart. It's just knowing enough about the truth to decipher, no, this doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound right. But you know what? I'm not going to argue with you. Can you just give me a source so I can check it? Can I see what you said in a book? I'll show it to you. No, don't show it to me. Just give me the book. I want to look it on my own. I know what you do. He gives you the source, he gives you the page number, you send me a text message, Rabbi, what does it say over here? Unless it's clear for you. Because sometimes they'll send you something that's so difficult to understand. Maybe it's from Chassidut, it's the words of the Baal Shem Tov, and they're going to mention something. Oh, see, the Baal Shem Tov says that no Jew is ever going to be lost. Yeah, but in what context? When did he say it? What was before, what was after that sentence? Because the Baal Shem Tov also talks about Gehenom. Oh, he didn't mention that to you. Oh, he didn't mention that part to you. Oh, so it all depends. When did he say what he said he said? Because if he says, no Jew will ever be lost, maybe he's just talking about time of Yetziat Mitzrayim. Maybe he's talking about someone that's really tries to do tshuva, but is still having a hard time, but Hashem is not going to give up on him. I don't know, but he's talking about different contexts. You can't just take this one sentence and say, this is the Baal Shem Tov. That's it, finished. It doesn't work that way. What's the context? What's before? What's after? What he said? What he said? And if you don't know, you're going to get confused. So that's why it's important for you to get strong with your own understanding of what's right and wrong in